like zombies. I like first-person games. I like open-world games. So I like Dying Light.
This isn't the game for you, Brandon. I'm
No,
sorry.
yeah, I know. It's just not. I just go seeking the wrong genres in all the wrong places. I liked Dead Island. I didn't play the add-on to Dead Island, but I was really surprised how much I enjoyed that game and how cheeky it was and how plastic all the characters felt.
Yeah.
But I still was totally absorbed in just exploring that world and getting stronger and getting cooler weapons and stuff. How is it now?
I think this is Dying Light, which is it's from Techland, who
Right.
worked on Dead Island, but I think it's going to feel different. There's a singular character that you play as.
First of all, you're international now. So
I
this
am.
was not. This is a international press briefing that we're
Yeah.
having.
I had an opportunity to be at EGX, and I got to speak to Ashesh Binkowski, who's the developer behind Dying Light, and so we talked about the game a bit, and then I got to play it. And so the sequence I played is, I believe, also what was at Gamescom. You're just running through the city and trying to find a safe point, and it's during the day. So like I was saying to you earlier, I don't know if it necessarily shows off really the extent to what this game is, because I think the game is really reliant on two things that make it unique and will make it a fun experience. One being the dynamic day-night cycle, and the other being there's a real emphasis on natural free movement. And it's weird because when I started playing, it felt so foreign and completely non-intuitive because the controls are a little strange.
When you first started playing, was this the first time?
This is the first time I had an opportunity
Okay.
to play. Yeah, so the right bumper is actually jump, which
Yeah.
is really weird.
Yeah, that's yeah. Some games do weird things like the Y button for jump
Yeah.
or something. Yeah,
And so the game is so focused on parkour and jumping, and so I was just trained to be pressing X.
Did you ask him about it? Did you bring that up?
No, 'cause I didn't get to play until after we spoke.
Oh, okay.
So I was playing after, and I thought, oh, this is really weird. I wonder what made them choose to do that. But the game is really dependent on those two things, and the day-night cycle I didn't get to see. I don't know if you've been in. I was only playing during the day.
I can't remember. I think they might have done both. I remember playing most of it during the day.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah.
And so was I, and so it was basically just trying to find a safe point. So I was just blasting through the level, just running, and I thought, well, this can't be it.
Right.
There has to be more to this.
Well, maybe I wonder if they take the approach that we know the people that are playing this ahead of time have obviously played the first game or have a little bit of experience with the work that we've done before. So what we really want to stress is that movement. We really want to show you how you can move through the environment, how that's different. Then you can kind of use your imagination, well, if I'm going up against the kind of bosses or the kind of situations that I did in the first Dead Island, then because one thing I remember about the old Dead Island is if you didn't have a car, it kind of sucked, if you had to get to certain areas.
Yeah.
So if they build the environment to be more, not as crazy as something like Sunset Overdrive, but much more accessible.
Yeah, and the games aren't connected. This is completely different from Dead
Totally,
Island.
yeah.
So they're, they're trying new things, and I know I was just able to blast through the level, but if I was actually playing and had goals to accomplish, I would probably have to stop and do a mission during the day or retrieve a certain item, and I couldn't just keep running.
So is there some way you think you wouldn't be able to do that because of what they showed off? That if you wanted to play this type of game the way you would want to play it, you think it would be the focus would be too heavy on fast movement and parkour and not on the stuff you want to focus on?
Actually, there are two kind of ways that you can play the game, from my understanding, because there is actually a skill track. There are two parallel skill tracks. One is focused on strength, and one is focused on agility. So as you're gaining experience, you can either choose to commit it to the agility track or to the strength, and you'll probably max out both of those tracks at some point in the game.
So your strength is what you're saying.
Yeah. So I usually like to just go in guns blazing.
Okay.
But the thought of being able to run away very effectively, as I'm usually scared of any horror game, is really appealing. But I thought that was kind of cool, having those skill tracks and choosing how you want to play, essentially.
Yeah, definitely. And that's not something that they had. What would you say? Would you say the previous games were focused on strength rather than agility? You could run around, you could sprint. Dead
Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Dead Island was how much weapon power you had. And this does have weapon crafting, but I do feel like this game will be really focused on the escape and and your agility.
Were you scared at all? Do you see yourself being scared in this
No,
game?
I think maybe at night, especially because it is like a dynamic day-to-night cycle. So you could theoretically just hide at night and just let it pass over you. But
Right.
But Ajesh told me that like there are certain areas that you will only be able to access at night, and certain items that you will only be able to get at night.
Oh, of course. And the big thing for
Yeah.
me with open worlds is that like you open that map up and you want to check out all the places. And so if you open up that map at night and you see stuff
Yeah.
glowing, you see something highlighting, it's like I gotta get out there
Yeah.
and see that.
It's almost
Yeah.
like it's like a carrot like dangling
Oh,
in
sure.
front of you. Like I need this.
I commend you on your Bloodworth book of notes too.
It is. It is. I saw him on a Just Played, and I thought if he gets a notebook, then I can get a notebook too.
I'm
but
woefully unprepared.
but yeah, there was a lot of interesting new stuff. Like I tried to press about the story, but they're not really biting at that yet. They're kind of keeping that, and I get it because I'm sure it's going to be an integral part to the game.
You think?
I think so. Like
Okay.
He was very, very mum on any story stuff and explicitly told me I can't answer story
Do you think
questions.
that's from like a character perspective? Like they don't want to say exactly who you are yet? Or do you think they're going to have more of a focus on what happened in the apocalypse, where these zombies came from?
It might be because you're in this quarantine zone, and I don't know if you necessarily know why, or if you're trying to escape it or why. You just play as this man, Kyle Crane, and even if you play like 4-player co-op, you'll all play as Kyle Crane in your respective games.
Okay.
And it'll sort of be like Destiny, where like if you have a cutscene, it will be your Kyle Crane that you see in your cutscene, even though you're doing co-op. Yeah, I also asked if like it's just going to be zombies that are a threat, or if there will be human threats, and that there will be. But again, it was kind of like we don't really want to talk about that too much yet.
What did they talk about? What did they say about the state of the game and what their do they have a release date? I mean, do they know?
It comes out January 2015.
Oh, okay.
And I think you're going to be in for a treat because I asked like if they hid any limitations with it, and it's about 4 times the size of Dead Island. They had to cut about a third from the game just because it was so large.
Wow.
And but a lot of that I think we're going to see in DLC,
Yeah.
which hasn't really been announced yet, but will be. And yeah, like there was also I didn't get a chance to go to it, but on Sunday at EGX there was a developer session, and they talked about like PvP and then the Be a Zombie mode.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, so I think there's going to be a lot to it, and Majesh did say like they're prepared to like keep rolling stuff out for it and support it. So
Do you think that's why it's a new franchise? They kind of wanted to wipe the slate clean and introduce a whole new thing and not be limited by what expectations people would have going into a Dead Island 2.
yeah, and like
Which we are also getting.
Yeah, and like Techland didn't own the Dead Island IP. They kind of surrendered that, I think, when they made the original game. So yeah, I think the goal is that this will be a new IP for them that they will.
So
sequel
Dead Island's
out.
like Oswald, but like
Yeah.
Dying Light's like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Like they're really going for
You
it.
had to make a Disney analogy, Brandon Jones.
And whenever I can. So you're stoked. You're definitely this game is on your radar. You're gonna play this in January.
I am looking forward to it. I think that there are some things that need to get smoothed out with like the motion blur is a little weird at points in the game and things like that, but I think it's going to be fun.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
Well, thank you for making sure your passport still works.
Thanks.
So we can get an update on Dying Light.
Yeah.